So we're getting through this weekend about as good as I had hoped for. I'd said that, I'm okay with an even keel weekend. I'm even okay with a little bit of consolidation. Right now, we're seeing a lot of resilience, a lot of strength throughout assets. We're kind of taking that deep breath before possibly taking that next leg as we get into next week. There's a little push we might get that may get us over the hump. And I want to talk about something specifically in terms of Shiba Inu. There's this resistance that we're fighting, and it's a question of whether people are going to remain resilient or are they going to be taking some profit. I'm Luckside. Welcome to the channel. If you guys are new or haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Hit that bell again. It's free to do. It will keep you updated anytime there's new content live here on the channel. So just looking at Shib, looking at BTC, both of them have a very similar thing going on right now. Both are very much broken out. Shib has actually been broken out since September 26th. That is when we fought our long-term downtrend, this descending channel that we were in. We broke out. Right now, we're on the verge of an even larger possible breakout here. We're breaking out of a smaller ascending triangle formation here. And we're fighting against this very key resistance, which is 4019, 402. All right, BTC broken out as well. It's really pushing hard against this 68.5 level. It really wants to run. And as we get into next week, that may be, or this week, as this week now, as we get into tomorrow, that's where we may in fact get this push from institutional money that kind of gets us over the hump, that really breaks this and starts targeting some of these higher levels. Now, this isn't a guarantee. This isn't financial advice. And what I want to talk about specifically in terms of Shiba Inu is this is a comment from KC Defends. This was actually an article I stumbled across, didn't really talk about it at the time, but what he said is on-chain data put out an article today. 437 trillion SHIB are held between 4018 to 4002 over 44,000 wallets. It's probably even more than that, to be honest. You know what that means? The 2000 resistance level puts holders in profit. The question is, will there be a massive sell-off causing retracement, or will they hold onto the coin waiting for FOMO attached? Appreciate you. Great question. And this is an important discussion to have. And I really want to talk about what the data shows when it comes to this. So Shiba Inu has fought some of these pretty key resistance levels before. If you guys remember, there was a large, I don't know why I said that word, large consolidation of holders actually down in this 4012 through 4010 range. And Shib fought against this time and time again. This is all the way back here in the early part of the bull market cycle, latter part of the bear, back here. And we had the hardest time breaking through this because there was so much consolidation in that range. Basically, you did not have people willing to buy, but you had a lot of people that weren't really willing to sell. It kind of fell into a dull zone, basically. All right. Now, things are they're a little the same here and a little different. Why that is we're still at this point where there's a lot of people that aren't willing to sell, frankly. Okay, well, the big reason I say that is I want everybody to look at this holder composition by time. This is something I reference time and time again when I talk about this long-term holder mindset. We're at almost 80% of Shiba Inu holders that have held for a year or longer, all right? And many people that bought, a year ago, right? Prices were obviously, lower than here. Those people are still holding. They're still resilient. They're still planning long term. And I think it's very indicative that this number just continues to rise. The only two numbers that change are these right here as we start to get some speculators in. This less than 1 month holders goes on the rise. And then obviously this 1 to 12 month holders drops a little bit. But for the most part, this all continues to shuffle towards this 1 year mark. And I think a very important metric to look at as well is the percentage of holders that are currently in the money. 58% of holders are currently either at or in the money. So you have a majority of Shiba Inu holders actually in profit right now, but yet despite that, people aren't willing to unload. Me, I'm substantially in profit. All right. I bought during the depths of the bear market cycle. If you guys followed me on the channel back then, you know that we talked very heavily about this fire sale range, this huge opportunity zone in terms of Shiba Inu. We talked about this opportunity zone back here as well. And obviously now the gift zone, which we're broken out and above. I've obviously wanted people to take advantage when the times are good. And again, if you guys want to check out my indicator too, definitely do so. There's been some great things flashing on here. Again, we're still in bullish momentum right now. Again, there's been some buy zone opportunities that have flashed. So feel free to check that out. Links in the description below. There's a 7-day free trial on it. But the point I've wanted to make is, there's a different mindset when it comes to Shiba Inu than there is most other assets in the space. And while right now we're kind of sitting at this resistance level, you guys can see this here, right? This is where things just tend to slow down and get kind of blah. when you get a little push, whether it being drug up by the pairing with Ethereum or just a little bit of influx of new capital, you get a little bit of FOMO and excitement that kick in, and you still see this resilience in terms of holders continue to remain the same. All right. When we got into the early part of the bull market cycle, specifically October, this holder composition by time was already at about 70% or so. So during that time, we have actually seen not just holders increase, but the length of holding increase. So what it's indicating is actually that new people are coming in, and right away they're adopting this long-term mindset. Most people want a much higher price in terms of Shiba Inu. And frankly, all the metrics are pointing towards that just being in the not so distant future. The removal of supply, the adoption rates, obviously the interest on the rise, all these things are starting to compound and paint this very great picture for what the future of Shiba Inu is going to look like. So we'll just have to be patient. We'll obviously have to wait and see what happens when we get here. It's possible we could get rejected at this 4020 level like we have, like we have back here, But I will say, if BTC continues doing what it's doing, if it confirms this breakout, if Ethereum gets a little bit of rocket up its butt and runs to like 2,800, don't be surprised if Shib does in fact break out and start to make some nice moves. So great question. That's my thoughts on this. I'd love to hear what you guys think. Do you think this is a point where people are really going to start to take some profit, or is this journey just getting started? Have a great day. Show your love below. Catch you guys in the next one. Take care.